Good morning, business builders. How are you? Sorry, I was having a bit of a tech issue there and I couldn't actually go from one screen to the other. So I am here today to bring you this week's Top Tip Tuesday, and we're all done with retreat. I wanted to talk this week a little bit about your values, and I'd love to go through an exercise with you. So if you're not driving, because I know some of you are driving. Oh, hello, Michelle Jules Parson is joining us live. Hey, hun, great to have you here. If you are at home and you are tuning in live, or if you are at your office, I recommend grab yourself a pen and a piece of paper. I've only got a giant piece of paper here because I want to take you through a bit of an exercise that I think will be hugely beneficial to help you drive results in your business the easy way. Now, I'm still very much on the whole 80-20 rule, low effort, high reward, and I thought today that I would share with you an exercise that Tony Everard, our brain trainer here at the Lifestyle Business Builder, did with us all at the retreat. And in particular, what she did is she talked about values and the importance of understanding what are our real values, not just the stuff we have written on the wall or the things that are in our marketing materials, but the things that really matter most to us, the things that we find important. And a big part of doing neuro-linguistic programming work is we often elicit a person's values. And we want to find out, are your values congruent with the goals that you are trying to achieve? The other thing that's really interesting, and I found this really cool, that Tony said, is when she meets someone that is achieving the things that she wants to achieve, if she comes across someone who has the success that she wants to get, the first thing she wants to know about them is what are their values and their beliefs. Because when you unpack a person's values and beliefs, you're pretty much unpacking the program that they are running on that's going to either take them closer to their goals or further away from their goals at an unconscious level. And this is very much why sometimes people feel like achieving a goal or trying to achieve a goal is like pushing crap uphill. It feels like this huge effort where you're not getting anywhere fast. And so one of the first things you can do is go, all right, what really matters most to me? What do I value? And are these values going to get me where I want to go? Now, here's an interesting thing. We often think values, beliefs, and identity are things that are locked in and unchangeable because they are what makes us up. But the reality is these things are all changeable, and we can choose our values, we can choose our beliefs, and we can even choose to adopt a new identity. So today, let's talk specifically about values. For those of you that are in the Lifestyle Business Builder program, if you are watching this, you'll find in the original version of that program, under the vision module, I do a really cool video around Robert Dilts' 7 neurological levels, which is a pyramid that goes like that, and it's got 7 levels. At the heart of that pyramid are values, beliefs, and identity. And so there's a really nice exercise that you can do in LBB that can help you stir some of these things up and create change. The other thing is you can always jump on a coaching call with me and we can have a play with this stuff. So let's talk values. And here is the first question that I want you to ask yourself. And this is the question that Tony asked me at retreat. And she kind of elicited my values so that everyone could learn from my code of what it is that I do. So if you are watching live, which I can see a few of you are, feel free to type any of your values as we go through this in the chat and you can play along. But I thought, Michelle says, I really should watch those modules one of these days. I'm telling you, Michelle, there's gold in those modules. Absolute business building gold. It's funny. So if you are watching the replay and you don't know who Michelle is, Michelle's one of our lifestyle business builders who joined at the private level. Many of our clients who join at the private level never even watch the online stuff because they just work directly with me, and it becomes a bit of an in-house joke. One day I might actually watch the training. It's like, yeah, you might, but you know what? You might not need to either. But it's gold there for you. So here is the first thing I want you to ask yourself. When it comes to business, what's really important to you? What do you value? And so this was the first question, and I'm going to share with you what I came up with when Tony asked this question, and we just brainstormed it. So she said, all right, Jodes, what really matters to you? And I said, well, results. I value results. Freedom is important. Fun. I really love having fun. Creativity. Low effort, high reward. We were there, we were doing 80-20 stuff, so it was front of mind, but I really do value that. Simplicity. I value that. Laughter. Community. And it was funny when I said community, I was like, I do, because I'm really big on our community, but it doesn't feel like the right word. But anyway, we put it down there. Learning. I really value learning. Adventure. And I said, yep, I think that's it. And then we sat with it for a minute, and then all of a sudden I said, no, hang on a minute, Tony, this is the one. It's love. So the community was really not the right word for me. And this is where it's an interesting process to go through. So here we have all of my values laid on the table. And we go, okay, well, this is interesting, but so what? What do we do with this? So first thing is ask yourself, when it comes to business, what's really important to you? What really matters? Then Tony asked me to put them in order of priority. So she said, okay, Jodes, we're going to order these from 1 through to however many there is, and we're going to look at your top 5. And so we went, okay, what comes first? Well, all right, we'll chuck freedom up the top. We'll put love second. I went then, I think fun is very important. We'll put fun third. What goes next? Creativity. Yes, that's important to me. What else? Results. Simplicity. And so now we start to get some order around things. Adventure. We'll move the learning out of the way. I had laughter that went next. And then we had learning. And then we had low effort, high reward. So that is my value stack. But even better than this, if we take all those away and we just simplify it right down, I'll just close all those off. And by now you might have a big long list if you've been playing along at home. And what we want to get to really is just our top 5. So my top 5 are right here. Freedom, love, fun, creativity, and results. And so the question is, what are your top 5 values at the moment? And here's what Tony said. If you want to know how to build a business like Jodes, and if you want to get the same sort of results that Jodes is getting in business, which is lifestyle business, 3 days a week, multiple 6 figures a year, fun, adventure, really a very happy, wonderful life, and easy, I would say easy success in business. A big part of it is, these are the 5 things that Jody values. I'm being Tony now. But even more importantly, what are the beliefs that Jody has around these values? So you might want to write these top 5 things down and start to think, okay, if I want results like Jody, do I want to play her record for a while? Do I want to adopt this idea of valuing freedom, love, fun, creativity, and results? And do I even want to entertain some of the beliefs that Jody has around these things? And so I'm not saying that you should become a clone of me, of course, but what I am saying is that if you have values that are currently incongruent with your goal, getting there might always be an uphill battle. And so let me tell you about my beliefs around these core values. And this was an exercise that we did just off the cuff. It wasn't a pre-planned exercise. I was just organically eliciting my values as Tony was asking them to me. I just organically came up with my top 5 in the order off the cuff that she asked me to. And then when she said, all right, what do you value about these things? I said, well, What do I believe about these things? Ultimately, when it comes to freedom, I believe that we all have it, but we often forget. And so I really value my freedom to choose how I want my life to be, because there's a time in my life where I forgot about that and I felt trapped. And so now I find it very important to continually remind myself that the choice is always mine. If I don't like the way my life is, then I have the freedom to change it. That's very high on my list. And the other thing is, I also want the freedom to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. I want the freedom to be my own boss. And I really, really, really find it important not to have to ask permission for leave and holidays. Like, that is a big thing for me. I hated having to ask permission if I could leave the office early, if I could go on a holiday, etc. That was like, this is killing me. So that's my story around freedom. It's a big one for me, as you can see. Love is a very powerful thing for me. I'm a student of the Course in Miracles, and I believe that there is fear and there is love. And at any given moment, we are making a choice between the two. And because I have freedom, I can consciously choose to do things with love from a place of love. And so when I am doing what I love with love, it rolls into the next thing, which is fun. And I really love to laugh. I don't take myself too seriously. I'm not a professional, get my suit on and be all polished. And so I think that having fun and making work play is also very important and very possible. Here we go. Michelle Jules Parson has given us, I think these are yours. Yes, she says MJP. Love, family, making a difference, freedom, and financial security. Now, Michelle, what I would love to do is have a conversation with you when we go for our cocktails at Polk around your story of each of those. What does love mean to you? What does family mean to you? What are your beliefs about love? What are your beliefs about making a difference? What are your beliefs around financial security? And that's a really cool conversation to have. So those are my beliefs about love. It's a choice. It's the choice between love and fear. I believe that when you do things with love, from love, then it leads to having fun. And fun is really important to me because I don't want work to be serious. And I grew up as a pottery artist, carny, for God's sakes. My job has mostly been my hobby and my passion, and it still is today. Number 4, creativity. What do I value about that, or what do I believe about creativity? I believe that as humans, we are creative by nature, but it's kind of bashed out of us as we get all serious and forget to have fun as adults and become trapped in this whole freaking matrix, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to get all conspiracy theory and stuff, but I think that creativity is a very important thing. I studied visual arts, and I was a pottery artist for many years. I am a creator by nature. I love working with people to create content, to build their businesses. I love creating our own content. I love creating our own programs. The creative process to me is a very soul satisfying process. I'm doing a lot of work at the moment around archetypes, and I'm listening to quite a few different archetypal books at the moment, and the creator is an archetype family. And so I just know that at an archetypal level, which they say is at a soul level, I have the creator archetype in me, because creating and creativity is something that I cherish. The other thing is I'm very anti-conventional and boring. Like, I don't like conventional thinking. I don't like sticking to the rules. I don't like doing what I've been told. And so to me, creativity is also linked to the freedom to be different and the wisdom to experiment and have fun doing what you love. Suzanne Murphy, hello, my beautiful friend. Amen, sister. Woo! I don't know what you're saying amen to. Hopefully all of it. But maybe about the being trapped in the bloody system. And finally, results. I believe that results are where the rubber meets the road. As a business coach, as a life design coach, I meet a lot of dreamers. I meet a lot of people who have these visions and these goals, and they want to start a business and they want to do these cool things, but they get stuck in the trap of not getting results and planning behind the scenes. And so I think results is critical to success. And when you start measuring your results and focusing on getting small results, those results grow into bigger results. And I really do believe that statement that nothing drives the human spirit, nothing motivates the human spirit as much as a sense of progress. And so when we are experiencing progress in our life, when we are experiencing progress in our business, we are measuring results and we are creating an intrinsic fire of motivation within us that will have us do more cool stuff. So this is why I'm very big on track your numbers, my friend. Let's have the levels of success in your lifestyle business. Let's report on what we are doing financially each month. I report all my numbers to the team transparently. At the end of every month, I say to the team, all right, this is how much we invoiced. This is how much cash we collected. These are some of the big expenses that we've cleared. This is the numbers behind the scenes, my friend. We've also got Alicia, who is tracking and measuring all our analytics on socials. We've got tracking and measuring of our email marketing, of our events, profitability, booking in, how much do we fill, etc. Everything we track and measure, does it work or not? And we do it in the simplest of ways. Here we go. Michelle says, my values are much more confirmed now since meeting you, Jodes, and not working from fear. I love that, Michelle. And this is a really beautiful thing. Thank you so much for sharing that, MJP. So when I first met Michelle, many of you probably know, she was coming from a place of fear unconsciously, but operating from a place of love consciously. And so Michelle is actually driven by love. And, she's a fascinating person to me. Michelle, you are a fascinating person to me. And I was just thinking about you, was it yesterday or the day before, and how she has these beautiful rituals and almost sacred ceremonies in her family. So they get up every year and watch, what's that terrible Eurovision song competition thing where they have really bad songs? I know Michelle loves it. She and her husband Rick are members at the Intercontinental, and they have all of these times when they go there regularly. They know all their staff. She has beautiful relationships with her clients as well as the service providers and the funeral homes that she works with. So she operates out of love, and she is a human who is all love. However, when she wasn't consciously valuing that, the unconscious fear kept creeping in, and some of her language was very fear-driven, and she wasn't even aware of it when we first started working together. And this is the beautiful thing. When you create awareness, and when I started calling out Michelle on her fear and saying, hang on a minute, are you coming from a place of defense and fear, or are you operating from love, which is what you value and what you want to be doing? She was then given the choice to go, you got me again, Jodes. And she would always joke and ring me up and say, okay, I'm doing it again. I need you to poke me with your stick. I just need to get this stuff off my chest. And so soon enough, the fear patterns in Michelle started to dissolve, and she got to really not only consciously but unconsciously choose her value of love over fear. So that, my friends, is your values. And I recommend that you do this exercise. Ask yourself, what's really important to me when it comes to business? So we're just talking about, these are my values around business. I have different values as my 7 values in life, and the 7 Effect has different values that we operate by as a team. But this is Jody saying, what do you really value about business, Jodes? What's important to you? Brainstorm them all had about 10 or so different words up there. The next question is, now, in order, what is the most important to the least important? So we put them all in numbers. Then elicit your top 5, like we have here, and ask yourself, what are your beliefs about that and why is it important to you? So we can unpack the story you are telling yourself around that. And I just want to share with you, to wrap up this Top Tip Tuesday, and by the way, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them. So I'll pack my values up. And I just want to share with you one little anecdote about an organization that I was working with around values, or I chose to work with them around values, and it was very profoundly effective. So a couple of years ago, I was called to do some work for a council. So I have a background in culture and leadership, and I've done a lot of work with councils right across Australia to help them build great team cultures, to have difficult conversations, and to improve the way that their leaders perform, influence, and lead people. And so I developed a reputation as kind of the go-to person when things were really going bad and teams were struggling to get along. And so I was invited to go and do some work with a particular team in a council where there had been what only could be described as a mutiny towards the team manager. And so I went in and I just interviewed the team manager, and then I interviewed the team, 2 separate things. And I asked them questions around their perception, their values, and their beliefs about each other, about the organization, about themselves. And this is the stuff that's very important to unpack, because this tells me what their stories are going on. So here's what came up. The team manager really valued ownership, autonomy, accountability, and having a high work ethic. So the team manager was very strong on results, accountability, autonomy, show up early, stay back late, get the job done. It was in her nature. It was what she valued. The team, on the other hand, valued support, communication, nurturing, teamwork, collaboration. They were very much more, we like to do things together. I need coaching, I need mentoring. I like to have the support of someone around me rather than the ruling of someone telling me what to do. And so what had happened, and you can see straight away, and this is a really important thing, we mustn't let our judgment and assumptions start deciding who's right and wrong. So my job was to go in as a neutral party. Hey, my name's Jodie, I'm Switzerland here. And I was just to observe good people having a bad time, because I believe they were all good people, but they were just having a really bad time. Why were they having a bad time? Because their values were misaligned. They didn't value the same stuff. They didn't understand that their values were misaligned, so they were judging each other as wrong. And so what had happened is this manager, who really wanted to do a great job and lead the team to do a great job as well so that they could be perceived as a high-performing team, was using her values to get that done. Autonomy, accountability, responsibility, ownership, hard work ethic. The team were resisting that because they were feeling like they were being pushed and driven and ruled, and so they were calling the manager a bully and a bossy person, and they'd had all sorts of charges slapped against her, and basically the manager hadn't necessarily done anything wrong but was very unliked amongst the team. So I had a conversation with them individually, and then I brought them all together and I just invited them to get to know each other from a values perspective. And what was really interesting was the first time, and this had been going on for a year and a half, the first time in a year and a half, they were able to look at each other and go, you are not the mean, bullying, bossy, controlling manager that we are judging you as. And she was able to look at them and go, you are not the what were the things that she was thinking them as? The victimized, kind of wishy-washy, slack, underperforming people that I'm assuming that you are, that don't want to work. So she saw them as not wanting to put in the hard yards, not prepared to work, always making excuses. And so for the first time in a year and a half, they were able to look at each other by understanding each other's values. And we were able to create a set of team values that they thought would get them the results that they wanted. And this wasn't about the manager imposing her values on the team or the team working together to do a mutiny and wash out the manager with their values. It was about saying, this is the job to be done. As a team, what makes sense for us to value? And so we came up with 5 core values. I can't remember what they were now, but I do know that that simple exercise that took half a day to have that conversation changed the way they worked forever. So values are very powerful, my friend. If you are finding that you are struggling to achieve results that you want, maybe look to the things that you are valuing around that particular goal and ask yourself, is this value and the story that I'm telling myself around it supporting me to achieve this goal, or is it stopping me from achieving this goal? All right, that's it from me for this week's Top Tip Tuesday. I just want to say thank you very much for tuning in live. If you are watching the replay of this on YouTube, please subscribe, I don't know which way I point, to our channel. I do one of these each week during the terms. We take school holidays off here at the Lifestyle Business Builder. If you are in the Lifestyle Business Builder program and you want to unpack your values and get some coaching, jump on a call with me or jump on the NLP calls with Tony and have her do some neuro-linguistic programming with you around beliefs and values directly. Of course, I can do that as well. And coaching call happens today, 10 till 12. I hope to see you there. I think this week we've also got Tony tomorrow, Wednesday, 10 till 12. So jump on with her as well if you need to. All right, that's it from me. Let me find my scene and bid you farewell. Bye-bye. Is it going to work? Yeah.